Hello, my name is Christopher Hendelberg, and this is my final video project. I'm a straight multiracial male who is half Swedish and half Filipino. My preferred pronouns are he and him, and I grew up with a Swedish dad and a Filipino mom. For me, my life so far has been a combination of white space and non-white space. I never had to have a different identity in either space because I was just me. Being a son of both immigrant parents, I am the firstborn American in my family. However, being Asian American, I always felt that I had to go above and beyond my classmates and friends because I felt like I wasn't good enough. For a long time, I didn't want to be Filipino because I was bullied for it. I never felt like I belonged. I dealt with all that for all my life until my senior year of high school. It was then where I finally accepted who I was, but I still struggle today to accept my identity. Before this class, I thought I knew my identity, but this class made me realize there is a lot more than I expected. As this is my first semester of college, this class, by far, has been the most enjoyable and influential class. This class showed me everything behind the scenes of race and identity and helped provide the words I wanted to say. The one term I never expected was the color line. Learning the stories of everyone and their experiences with the color line widened my eyes. After talking about the color line, I really started thinking about both my parents' family. It was very rough for my parents because of the color line. It was hard for both sides to accept my mom and dad being together. Some parts of my mom's family started calling her whitewashed. And for my dad's side of the family, they just struggled to accept my mom being a part of it. When I asked my mom about the color line, she told me that she does have a different identity in white space, how she acts differently and more politely in her job. With growing up in between the color line, it was hard to hear that, but it was the truth. Just talking about everything we learned in class taught me priceless information. I struggled a little bit trying to connect everything to real life experiences, but as the course went on, I started to get a grasp of it. I had to do a lot of research and a lot of reading to really try to understand the concepts that were discussed the whole semester. I'm still learning, but I have a better foothold now than I did at the beginning. The times where I learned a lot were definitely the discussions. Even though I don't speak much, I observe a lot, and it helped me learn more than reading from a book or a website. One thing I liked about the class were the guest speakers. Even though some of the topics were a little far-fetched, most notably 5 Ways to Kill a Man, it still allowed me to learn from others. One of the more serious discussions that made me understand the lives around me were about the dangers of being a woman on campus and also in this country. It hit me home because I've heard stories from my friends and relatives about it, but talking about it more made me not forget those tough situations. I have taken away a lot from this class, more than I can ever think of. It has shown me the truth about the world I live in, and it made me want to keep learning more and more. Even though it was sometimes a struggle to sit in a class for 3 hours, especially on a Thursday night, I was always glad I went. This class allowed me to talk more about race and identity around my parents more. It helped me break that barrier in my family. It even made me ask more about my parents' history. And the one piece of history that I learned from my dad that surprised me the most was to learn that my dad isn't a citizen still, even after moving here a long time ago. Learning that blew my mind, but it also made me connect to some of the topics more than ever. For me, this class has taught me things I never knew, both inside and outside of the class. It had taught me more about my true identity than any other class, even my parents. Even though this class was only a semester, I learned more than any other class. It was tough for me at certain times, but I kept pushing through because I enjoyed it, the class, especially. For me, I'm glad I took this class. It was probably the most influential I've had throughout all my life. I've learned so many new things, and it was just a very nice experience for me. That's all I got, folks. My name is Christopher Hendelberg, and that was my final video project. Have a good one.